Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we are going to talk about Netflix's Eric, starring Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Spoilers ahead for all 6 episodes. You have been warned. Here we go.
Right.
Won-Jin, can I say something?
Okay.
Please criticize me. Welcome back, oldies. What's up, ZZ? Big shout out to ZZ, Scott Walker, Jasmine, Kayla Marie, Zach Miller does movie. Big shout out to my wife. I cook for her, and Ui Chan Hong. Yo, please criticize me, Won-Jin, if I'm wrong. This show was very, very gay. It was gay.
Okay.
It was gay as fuck. And, you know, I have nothing, like, I'm saying that because I kind of did not expect that, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was peculiar.
Yeah.
Like, so much emphasis being on that.
Yeah. And after watching, I did feel like it really wasn't about the kidnapping at all. It was really about, I was surprised to see him in such scenarios. Yeah. You know, I gotta be honest, I wish the show that I actually wanted to see was how this Hello Sunshine and Hello Sunshine against City Hall. I wanted to see that series because I was just fascinated about like how these like doll series work. But this show is like a package of so much social commentary and about the period.
And, I mean, I first started it because, I mean, number one, it stars Benedict Cumberbatch. And second, it's a mini-series. It's just 6 episodes. So it's kind of, for me, it's more approachable. But like you said, I was very surprised by all that social commentary. And, you know, it's based on the 1980s. So, like we said in the subtitle, it's also a period drama. But I was also surprised by like how gray all the characters were, which was very interesting.
Yeah. There's only one egg Benedict Cumberbatch for me, and that is fantasy movies with fairies and things. Yeah, I mean, but he does play serious roles like this, and I think he did a great job. There's a mother, a father, and a baby possum in my tree, so, oh man.
Red keeps trying to kill them all the time, so I have to keep them up in high parts of the tree.
No, but like, I gotta say, I have very mixed feelings about the show because I felt like the quality up to around episode 4 was great, but for me personally, the last episode kind of sped up, and when Cumberbatch got on to Eric's doll, and then was on the show, hey kid, let's race to the home. I was like, if I was the kid, I was like, fuck you. I'm not racing you home, fucker. I'm not forgiving you,
After
bitch.
going through all this?
Yeah.
No.
So I did feel like the crescendo, the emotional crescendo was it didn't feel that natural to me, but I understand. And it was really about all the around episode 2, I was just like, so does no one give a fuck about this kid? And all these, like, even the cop, I was like, I'm sure he has more cases than this, but still, I was just like, no one gives a fuck about this kid. And maybe this is the whole theme of the series, of these adults having their own adult problem.
Yeah, and remember, the show's not called Edgar. It's called Eric, which is not the child's name, but it's that alter ego, that monster that follows Benedict Cumberbatch around. And towards the end of the season, I mean the show, we kind of realized that that's his alter ego, and that's like the truth about him that he doesn't want to face. And eventually he fights it off, and I think it's also like a symbolism that he goes inside the doll itself. So he's now like fully basically
admitting to himself.
He's immersed in his own truth. But if that's the story that they're going to tell, I'm asking myself, was that disappearance of the child really necessary?
It's kind of a symbolic thing, though. Because in the first episode, I would give this, though, it's very clever. Like, just watching episode 1, we're not sure what the problem is, whether even the Cumberbatch character is in the wrong. But as the show progresses and we start to see the side of him that the other characters, especially the wife and the kids, saw, where he's talking to somebody like imaginary. And then we get hints that he had psychological problems for a long time, and he has father issues.
And father, by the way, is a very familiar.
Yeah,
face
Lieutenant
for The Wire.
Rawl. After his long career in Baltimore,
He's
he became
a property developer.
a very successful one, and that's funny. The casting was great. He's really great at playing those authoritative figures.
This is for you, McNulty.
Yeah,
These are for you.
Yeah. No, but I did love how it was like we were actually unpeeling this character, and the theme is really said out loud. And I think the very first episode about like from Leo Tolstoy, right? People like want to change the world, but how can they do that without changing themselves? And that's the whole theme of the series. And that gay detective the acting was fucking great.
Yeah,
he was great.
I kind of wish that he would have played Finn from the Star Wars sequels.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Can you guys give me some advice about possum, please? Red keeps trying to. We don't know anything about like possums.
I know nothing about possums. I have no idea, Scott.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, man. We're sorry. You can clearly see. Oh man, Zezzy is copying Won-Jin's the way Won-Jin talk now. See that the kid is on the neurodivergent spectrum as well as his father. Yeah, I mean they never say it out loud, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings though. Like, yeah, you can clearly see his expression Won-Jin uses. No, but like, anyway, back to the show. Like, I did maybe wish there was one more episode around the end. What did you think? Did you think the length was great?
No, I mean, yes, it was good to have 6 episodes because it finished quite early. But like you said, if you look at the pacing of the entire series, they do kind of speed up towards the end. You remember, like the end of episode 5, there's a cliffhanger where Edgar and what's her name, Rhea, the woman, they fall into the sewer.
Oh yeah.
So after that, I kind of wish they had 2 episodes.
Oh right.
So the last episode should be longer,
right?
In my opinion. And like you said, like the father racing his son to home, that's supposed to give you this like climax. Like it's supposed to move you, but it didn't really move me much because
there were a lot of moving parts. Yeah, because I like individually, like first of all, I love the acting. I love a lot of theme. How like it was we gradually. It's a very subtle show. It's a very, very subtle show where we gradually learn that Doctor Strange is batshit crazy, and he's the toxic one. And then I love how the kid goes to... It's like a fairy tale, the dark fairy tale where he actually goes to where the beggars are, and then...
It's like a dungeon.
Yeah. Like, I use the word beggars intentionally. I'm not knocking homeless people off, because it's always in fairy tale how, like, a prince escapes and hang out with the quote-unquote common folk, and there's a good person there protecting you. And I love those little scenes. It's just some of it, I like, around episode 4, I was just, like, saturated with it. Like...
You know, but for me, I was towards the end of the series, I was more captivated by the Marlon Rochelle like chasing down story of the detective. I was more immersed into the police story rather than the disappearance of the child.
No, but don't you think they were trying to mirror that? So like the first like episode is a foil. They're intentionally tricking us or not telling us everything on whether Benedict Cumberbatch is batshit crazy or what happened to the kid, and then it just gradually evolves to that because their stories are interconnected. Yeah. And because I thought they were so clever with that, because in the first episode I was like, who gives a fuck about the Lux? Get the kid. And it turns out the Lux has something to do with everything.
There's this like ring of like child prostitution.
Yeah. So up to episode 5 it was okay, but I just, like I said, episode 6 just ended so quickly for me. Sorry, Joe. I thought you knew. No, my dog was a coward walker. Like my dog would never like challenge any other animals.
Oh, and come to think of it, remember the superintendent of the apartment they lived in, George?
Yeah.
He's also what's his name?
Yeah.
From The Wire. He was a detective.
Yeah.
Lester. That's right. Lester. His name
Lester
was Lester
Freeman.
Yeah, Lester.
Yeah. I thought when they cast that and then the camera work kind of like. Is he the kidnapper? Like how the camera? I was like, no, he's not. I know this is a trick. I thought it was a trick.
Shit, how come you never had a dog when you're a kid? Why your mom and dad strict on having pets, or you couldn't leave it in an area where you were living? My mother did not want a dog. Like absolutely not. And it's not because she hates dogs, but because she has like this maybe I can call it like trauma. She had this like dog that she loved as a child,
and the dog died?
Accidentally ate one of those like rat poison.
Oh.
And got killed, and
Very
she was so sad about it. So she didn't want one.
The moment they mentioned 8, you just know there's something about the Lux. Yeah, I thought they did so cleverly. Like, I have a 10-year bourbon. I was like, is that a 10-year-old kid? What the fuck? And
I like the club owner guy.
Oh yeah, he was really.
It was quite refreshing to see this like gay gangster.
Yeah, and he was like I because see, this show was clever up to episode 5 because you also wonder whether he's in it, right? And then they have that scene where we get to see that he was actually redeemed. Like he actually is trying to be a good person.
Yeah, after spending time in jail.
Right. And I love how the seemingly good cops are actually bad people. And I also love the detail where Tina knows that he's gay. Like she knows. And
I was talking to myself, like, oh, she's barking up the wrong tree.
No, but she knows, and then I guess
and she was also clever for hiding those tapes.
Right. And then it also shows the AIDS pandemic because his
boyfriend died.
Yeah, is dying from AIDS, and I thought that was a very very graceful. And it's so weird though. Like maybe I'm being too cynical, but this show is really hard to pin down because I think we're kind of more used to darker kidnapping stories now.
Yeah. It also kind of reminded me of that old movie with Mel Gibson called Ransom.
Yeah.
That movie was brilliant. You know, if you ever ever have to pick like one kidnapping movie, that should be it. Because not just Mel Gibson, but you know the kidnapper from that movie? The guy who always plays like a side character, but he's so brilliant. He was also in Apollo 13. What was his name? He's the Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
What's
I
his
know
name?
who you're talking about.
Oh, Gary Sinise or something. Yeah, Gary Sinise. He was awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Man, if anybody wants to see a kidnapping movie, watch Ransom.
Yeah. I was also thinking about the one with Hugh Jackman, The Prisoners. Is it like where they like a daughter goes missing or something? Hugh Jackman goes crazy and kidnaps a autistic person. And
he also like kidnaps another kid to save his own kid?
Yeah, because he's suspecting that he is.
Okay.
And
I haven't seen that.
And we also watched True Detective, so it was weird for me. Like, she has the gator. This was quite innocent. I guess so, yeah. The ending was bittersweet. It was bittersweet. And, I wanted to say this. I wish they used the Eric guy more. Like, once he was there, I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't give a fuck about nothing. You. Tell me about you. And then I felt like it was interesting until like episode 5 or 4, he suddenly disappears almost. And then his 60 comes out.
When he was like fighting himself.
Yeah.
That gave me a lot of Fight Club vibe.
Yeah, the alter ego
thing.
Yeah. So, man, overall,
it was entertaining, but I'm glad that it was just like a mini series.
Yeah, it was engaging.
If it had like few more seasons to watch, I don't think I'd be inclined to like. Yeah. Or intrigued to watch.
But at the same time, I was thinking how fucked up they are. If I was like that kid, I would also run away with such parents. Yeah, I mean, let's give a grade, like, cause I'm gonna give it a 8.
Okay, that's generous. I would give it a 7.
Yeah.
I
understand.
I think I can give this a 7. And I have to, I mean, although it's a 7, if I have to like
7 out of sympathy, Zedzi? Okay.
Well, Well, if I kind of separate like certain qualities of the show and give it like a separate grade, I would give Benedict Cumberbatch's acting a very high grade, because I think he played this like clinically alcoholic father, like abusive, also like who has like a history of having been abused by his own father, very well.
Well, I don't know about abuse, but very strict father.
Yeah, very stern and strict. Yeah, and because we also continue to see that towards the like end of the season. I mean, end of the series.
Yeah,
when he has the talk with his father at the park.
Yeah, I guess like for me, for episode 8, like the reason why I give it an 8 is like some of it worked and some of it didn't. They were very ambitious. They were trying to mirror the lost black gay kid with that of the Edgar kid. But they were also making a larger point about like society and their commentary on
on racism,
psychological problems, family, and like because this is the 80s, so I love how they it's kind of like the problem we have in society today comes from that period, of not addressing those at that time, because homophobia is still an issue. And we're getting crazy divorce rates, psychological problems. So I thought it was like a really smart, ambitious commentary on blending different aspects of because I also thought like the show was about the city, because it was almost like The Wire, because it was about the city. Because I did wonder why we're meeting this like city commissioner. Like the candidate,
the corrupt politician,
and the garbage
sanitation,
so I thought they were like really trying to show us a portrait of New York City at that time. It just didn't. For me, it should have been longer. I felt,
and like Zedzi said, the story could have been better, but they didn't go into it well enough. They only scratched the surface. It was too light for a story that has so much dimension.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like Jin. I'm on my. Stop denying it. Just to make it. You didn't make it clear anything.
To make it clear.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for your mother, Jin, for what happened to her
thank
dog.
you, Scott.
Okay, but anyway, so we averaged out 7.5. Is that fair? I think it's fair.
Yeah,
I thought it was very clever. It was
It was well shot.
Yeah, maybe it would have. It almost felt like reading a novel, like a Charles Dickens, with a And in Edgar's father's defense, at least he didn't snort like fentanyl-laced cocaine like those 2 security guards. Yeah, those home service guys.
Or maybe it's just because they didn't have it back then.
Oh, fuck.
Because remember, like the moment he saw those homeless people
he snorted
hitting that joint, he was like, oh, let me get a hit of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And that scene was picture perfect because I think we have a lot of like archive like footage of that period, and that's very accurate. And I thought they did a great job of enlivening New York City in the 80s. And then they were trying to make a big commentary about the city. And some of it worked for me, some of it didn't. Like some themes, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's our grade on Eric. 7.5. JoeJin movie, we give it a almost awesome. And we'll be back in 3 minutes to talk with y'all in our Let's Talk session. This has been Movie So JoeJin Awesome.
I was Won-Jin.
Did you lace my water, Won-Jin?
What?
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Don't blame the water.
Bye. Hold
you
on.
Messed up.
Wait. Zazie.
In what breed of dog did you have, Jin? I don't know. She never talked about the breed, though.
Oh, favorite character?
Favorite? In this show, I kind of like the mother's character.
Oh, you did?
She was also a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
And I think she was also very gray. And I think she was complex and also very hypocritical. Like
all of them.
Yeah. So that's what I liked about the character.
I loved. Underrated character for me was like Rawls' wife.
Okay.
The grandmother of Edgar.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's such an accurate. Like, don't you think like she's like kind of reminds of like Korean moms too at that time where, like looking back.
Yeah.
Like, guys, remember we're in 2024. So looking back, we kind of see her own like psychological problems. And the way she's dealing with it is, trying to stay in control of her little corner. and the frustration that Doctor Strange had with her was really realistic. Like I thought those scenes were great about like this, like the psychological underlying tension. So, but she's not my favorite character. My favorite character is Eric. I just wish Eric would curse more. Like I just thought, like, why are you holding back? You're not real. Yeah, I like Eric the Monster. Me too. Always on. Her hair was always on point. Yeah, the actor was great. Like back then, I guess they might call her like hysterical. Like today, we have more like correct diagnosis of those things. Like she definitely had some psychological issues there too, that they don't admit. And I like how Rawl is also like a stereotype. Like he doesn't admit. Like yeah. But anyway, guys, we'll be right back in 3 minutes. See you in a bit.
Our Let's Talk session.
Bye.
See you soon.
Oh no. Won-Jin has laced my drink with vitamins for my health.
That is also very true.
Such a great friend. Wow. Did you expect ZZ for me to say something crazy? Are you still on?